Last video I said I'd show you how I load years of my own memory into my AI brain, aka my vault. So here it is, but I didn't import my chat history, I imported this. That's my actual DNA, 600,000 lines of it. This is what I just imported. Based on my DNA, what should I know about how I handle caffeine? That's what I'm going to ask my AI right now. And in a second, you're going to watch my vault, read it, and tell me something about myself I never typed in. Same tool I built to import my ChatGPT history, I just pointed it at something more interesting. So while that's loading in, I'm going to show you a little bit how this tool works. So I can choose my genome, or I can choose my ChatGPT history. You browse which files you want to source to add into your splitter here, the destination folder of where you want it to be split into, and then you hit run import. And just like that, my vault has read my genome. It can tell me something about myself that I've never typed in. It's the same tool I built to import my ChatGPT history. I just pointed it at something a little more interesting. Every big pile of personal data has the same problem. It's too big, too ugly for a vault or whatever AI system you're using. It's too big for it to read. Your ChatGPT export is one giant JSON file. Your genome is 600,000 rows of 4 letters. Same wall. You open it once, you go nope, and you close it forever. Meanwhile, that file is you. The data is not the problem, the format is. So I built one tool that fixes the format for any of it. You can run any set of data through this tool and it'll split it down to manageable sizes. So just keep this in your head. The DNA is standing in for chat history. If you wanted to import your chat history into your vault or wherever you want to collect all your ideas and things that you've been working on in one place, this is an example of how to do it. I just did it with a more interesting set of data, considering I already imported all my chat history from Grok, Claude, and ChatGPT. So 2 steps, you split and then you make it readable. I built a little app so you're not typing in commands, you literally just run this import. You get to control where it goes. This is a private folder that only your vault reads. And to be clear, this stays locally on my machine. It never gets posted anywhere, so you don't have to worry about accidentally pushing your data into GitHub or something like that. Step 2 is the part that everybody gets wrong, and the app does it automatically for DNA. Raw data is noise to an AI. A line that says RS4988 equals AG means nothing. So before the AI ever sees it, you ground it. You hand it a key for what each piece means. It just turns 600,000 rows into a clean readout. And that's how you could dive further into your DNA instead of just the basic level. So if you've got some other giant files, years of journal entries, a bank export, whatever, you add the one line in here and it shows up in the dropdown. The tool doesn't care what the data is. All right, so now over to the results of what we received here. So when we asked based on my DNA, what should I know about how I handle caffeine? You're a fast caffeine metabolizer, CYP1A2, whatever that means. See, so the AI is able to read that now. It has classified it, so it is able to read the data that it is getting. So my liver clears caffeine quickly. That's probably why I can drink caffeine so late at night and then go straight to sleep. There you go. Already some insight that I didn't have beforehand. All right, we're gonna do a couple other little tests here. All right, so let's read through what it came back with. Bitter, you were a non-taster. Okay, bitter vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, cabbage, rab. I don't even know what that is. Don't hit you with the harsh bitterness that super tasters recoil from. You probably eat them happily where others gag. I think that's mostly correct, except Brussels sprouts kind of suck. Let's see, black coffee, dark beer, tonic water, dark chocolates, IPAs. The bitter edge is muted for you, so these are easier to enjoy. I think that's mostly true, but I'm not a huge fan of black coffee. The flip side, you're getting less of the bitter warning signal. So very bitter or slightly off flavors slip past you more easily than they would for a taster. Okay, all right. Slightly agree with that. Sweet, moderate, not a raging sweet tooth. 2 genes, and they pulled slightly against each other. This is the genotype not associated with elevated sugar intake. Your glucose sensing side isn't pushing you towards sugar. 1 copy of the sweet preference allele, a mid-nudge towards liking sweets. I will say that whatever this one is, has taken over, and this one is mute because I really love sweets. Fat, middle of the road sensitivity, oral fat perception. You detect creaminess, richness of fatty foods at an average level. Okay, cool. Cilantro, a mild soap signal. One copy of the allele linked to perceiving cilantro as soapy. I can say sometimes I have had cilantro on my rice or something, and it tastes a little odd or a little off, like they put too much of it. So maybe that's what that is. So a net taste profile, you're a bitter non-taster with moderate sweet preference. Average fat sensitivity and a faint cilantro soap signal. Well, I guess this is my genome, so I guess that would be correct. So let's do another little demo here. So what foods would my genetics predict I like or avoid? Let's take a look what that comes back with. All right. So here's what it comes back with. Food your genetics say you'll gravitate towards. Bitter foods and drinks. Strong signal. Non-taster from before. Okay. So black coffee, espresso, dark bitter beer, IPAs, and tonics. I'll say I'm not a huge fan of coffee, but let's get into here. All right, so broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, cabbage, broccoli, and arugula, dark chocolate, radicchio. I don't even know what that is. A grapefruit. You're wired to enjoy these where most people have to acquire the taste. Okay, so maybe I should go find out what a radicchio is. Dairy. You tolerate it well. Yes, I love milk. Milk is great. I got made fun of once for ordering a chocolate milk at a business meeting. I know many people would say that is ridiculous, but you can't top a chocolate milk in the morning. Plant omega-3 sources. You use them efficiently. You're an efficient converter of plant-based ALA into the active EPA, DHA your body uses. Walnuts, flax, chai, leafy greens actually pay off nutritionally for you, not just fish. Most people convert these poorly. You don't. That is quite interesting. That's a good one. Foods you'll feel neutral about. Sweets. We already discovered that that's not necessarily a neutral thing for me. I love sweets. Fat-rich foods. Average. Okay. Foods your genetics flag to avoid. Cilantro. Mild soapy. Okay. One copy that tastes like soap. I would say that comes up when there's high amounts of cilantro. If it's a low amount of cilantro, I don't think I notice. 2 bonus metabolic notes, not taste, but food relevant. Carbohydrate handling, good. The low risk genotype for blood sugar response to carbs. You handle starchy, carby meals better than average. That's good because that's most of the meals that I eat. Appetite and overeating, low genetic push. The low risk variant. You're not genetically driven towards constant hunger or overeating. I'd say that. Pretty content for longer periods of time without eating. Alcohol. Normal metabolism. No Asian flush reaction. Your body processes alcohol typically. No built-in aversion, which is a tolerance fact, not a taste preference. Okay. I will say that I'm quite a big lightweight, so I don't know if that's exactly true, but all right. And we're going to do one more little demo here. Can you guess my eye color from my DNA? It's only going to be able to read this from my genome. And you can see my eye color from the thumbnail. Deciding the gene. Let's take a look at what we got. HERC2, whatever this is, AG. The single S&P does most of the work in eye color prediction. The 3 genotypes. GG, brown, high confidence. AA, blue, high confidence. AG, intermediate. This is you. You're heterozygous, I believe is how you say that, which is a genotype that does not land clearly on brown or blue. AG carriers most often end up with green or hazel, sometimes light brown, but specifically not deep brown and usually not pure blue. Your linked HE marker agrees, so this isn't noise. Supporting markers all lean lighter. Every secondary pigmentation S&P nudges you toward the lighter end of the intermediate range. So, now to its guess. My guess is green or hazel. So my eyes are not green. They are hazel. They are hazel. But it says most likely green. So, that is where it did get it wrong. So the confidence, I'd put it at roughly green hazel, 60% light brown, 25% blue, It's 15%. The thing I'm most confident about is the negative. You almost certainly don't have dark brown eyes, which is true. So it leans towards green, but it said green or hazel, and it's correct on hazel. So pretty close. If not, pretty much guessed it. Yeah, so none of this is written down anywhere. There's no profile. The AI built a picture of my body out of 600,000 lines of A's, C's, and G's and T's because I gave it the key to read them. So how it's built: 2 scripts and a little wrapper app. This little app here. So you don't have to code anything. The code was easy. The hard part, same as importing chats, is the grounding. Tell an AI, read my DNA, and it hallucinates a horoscope. You have to give it a curated table of genes it can actually trust. And this is the same for chats. This gives you the framework of how to import data. That's what this video is about. Everything I just showed you can build for free. The splitter, including the trait table. It works on your DNA, works on your ChatGPT export, whatever you've got. So if you'd rather not assemble this tool by hand, I packaged the whole kit: the splitter, the extraction prompts for chat history, the genome annotation table, and the guide for what you'd feed it. The link to that is also below. So build it for free or buy the shortcut. Either way, go grab a pile of data you've been ignoring and actually use it. Alright, and if you stay tuned for another video, I will have another one up next week for another tool. Subscribe if you want to follow along.